Did Russ win the MVP with his performance last night?
I didn't need convincing. For the last 3 to 4 weeks, when it became evident, looked like he was going to average a triple-double, I've been with him, and they're winning at a pretty high pace. But for all those, I think you're included in those.
These are those.
Who are struggling between Westbrook and Harden, and I can't imagine anybody else being in the race. I think last night should have done it. I mean, the highest point total in a triple-double ever. Then he does it in the clutch with the three-pointer to force overtime, which the last game against Dallas, he had 12 points in the last 3 minutes to come back from a 13-point deficit to beat the Mavericks. I want to say this to those who are questioning Westbrook and whether or not he should be the MVP, because for some reason this year, people are belittling a triple-double. They're downplaying a triple-double. There was even an article recently, Jason McIntyre from Speak for Yourself, he's against Westbrook, so to speak. But this article said Westbrook is not playing defense. He's leaving his man, and he's not contesting shots. And they had the statistical data to back it up. Like, he's in the one of
Jordan
2 or 3 players. Yeah. He has hardly contested any jump shots, Russell Westbrook. He's contesting like 3 or 4 a game. And they're saying he's doing that, leaving his man to go get the rebounds. Okay, whatever the case, that may be true. Look, they're 31-7 when he gets a triple-double. So if it were hurting his team, they wouldn't be 31-7 as he gets these double-figure rebounds. And you can't tell me he's the only player in the league now or in the league in history who's left his man a lot to get rebounds. A lot of big men do that and put up big rebounding numbers, and their other guys block guys out. Okay, so if it's so easy, I hear the long rebounds now. Why isn't LeBron averaging a triple-double? Why isn't, James Harden averaging a triple-double? Why hasn't anybody else done it if now, it's not that big of a deal, it's easy? We've never seen a player put up numbers that rival Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson, what they did in their era.
No.
He's doing it. He's not only doing it, he's surpassing Oscar Robertson and is about to surpass him, I think, with more than 41 triple-doubles. Mm-hmm. So to me, as great as Harden's been, I'd got to give it to Westbrook. A triple-double. It's like hitting 400.
You convinced?
What good is 400 if you don't? If I'm gonna give the MVP, because think about it. You remember it was Mike Trout and it was Miggy Cabrera. Miggy had the Triple Crown. But a lot of people thought Mike Trout. It wasn't until Miggy I think they won the division on the last day.
Yeah.
And he ended up winning the MVP. But people were looking like, but Mike Trout numbers are so impressive. He still, how many runs that he saves. For me, if he gets to the 5th seed, I'm willing to concede it.
How good should that team be? They're battling. They're actually the same as the Clippers in the loss column. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they're maxing out. They don't have a ton of great talent on that team.
And Houston does?
Houston doesn't have great talent either. I put a lot of this in Houston, taking nothing away from James Harden. But a lot of this is Mike D'Antoni. Like, James Harden is perfect for D'Antoni's system. Ryan Anderson,
Gordon,
Eric Gordon, they're perfect for his system. Billy Donovan is a good coach, but he has not perfected a system for that team like D'Antoni has for Houston. So I think that's a big part of it. You're right, he doesn't have great
when
talent.
D'Antoni coached the Phoenix Suns, somebody won back-to-back MVPs
There it is.
Named Steve Nash. And you didn't love those, right?
Well, I thought the first one, but I thought the second one, Shaq should have won the MVP that second time around.
I would agree, but he did win back-to-back MVPs in large part because he was in the very same system that this guy is operating in. And I take nothing, I've said this a bunch of times, I'm going to say it again. I take nothing away from James Harden because he took it up to a level I did not see coming. But this level is unheard of. It's extraordinary because I told you, I'm not going to compare Russell Westbrook to Michael Jordan, but there's something Jordan-esque about the ability to play at this high of a level against this degree of difficulty because obviously he's not playing with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. He's playing with Enes Kanter coming off the bench. You know, that's his guy. That's who's
Victor
going to.
Oladipo is like
Right,
your
right.
second scorer.
And I told you earlier, but I thought they'd added 2 nice pieces, Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott, and last night I look at the box and Taj plays 24 minutes and scores 2 points and gets 4 rebounds, and McDermott last night managed to play 3 minutes and 25 seconds and did not score. So they didn't help at all. Nobody really helped last night except for the guy who scored 57 points. It has become Russell or bust.
True.
And I'll take last night and the previous game at Dallas, both of them, where you're coming back from impossible odds, where you're stuck, you're 14 down late in the Dallas game, 5 minutes left, and then you score the last 16 points. From that mark, you said 12, but from that point, you score the last 16, and you hit the game winner. Then you go to Orlando against a dangerous team, and I don't want to go through all the wins, but they've had a bunch of nice wins this year, because if you're not ready for this team, and I also made the case, if you put Russell on the Magic, they're a better team than the Thunder are with talent. And then you could lift it up a whole nother level if you put Russell on that team.
Look, if Oklahoma City was in the East, they wouldn't beat Cleveland, but I think they'd be as good as anybody else in the East. They'd be battling for the second seed. I don't think there's any question.
Yeah,
I mean,
mostly
their
because
record
of this
isn't
guy.
that much. Yeah, because of Westbrook. But I think they'd be better than Boston. I'm gonna put it out there.
So they're down last night 22 late in the third quarter, and then they're down again 14 with 6:18 left. And Russell winds up scoring 19 in the fourth quarter alone.
Last 6:01.
And there you go. And he hits a shot from 8 feet beyond the three-point line, and he's not a great three-point shooter. And you can't tell me he just didn't will the ball in the basket. You know, sometimes you just say, I'm going to make this shot whether you like it or not. And you made the point, they're going to double him. They're going to trap him, but he doesn't even get to the trap. He just says, I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to will this ball in that basket to tie the game, to send it to overtime. This is extraordinary stuff, and he does it every night after night after night.
But I do think these last 2 games, I think a lot of voters are going to look at what he's been able to do, especially in the clutch. Because a lot of times you're like, yeah, he's taking all these shots, but these last 2 games, they won because of him. But for me, winning has to mean something.
They are winning.
Winning
by their standards,
but
they're
James
winning.
Harden's got a better team and
Why?
a better coach right now.
Okay, he has a better coach, but why are they a better team? I mean,
Because you got guys that fit that system perfectly. Just like San Antonio. Talent-wise, you might not say they're the first or second or third best team in the league talent-wise, but as a team, they fit better together.
But here's the thing. OKC built their team with bigs. He can dump the ball off in Adams and Cantor and Sabonis, lay the ball in.
Those are tougher threes than tougher assists than three-pointers.
I agree.
Dunks and layup?
Yeah, nobody
told
dunks.
you that.
Nowadays, you have to penetrate and create for your big man. It's not like back in the day where you could just do a post-entry feed to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, that's
or
what I'm
something.
saying. But that's Russ is getting.
You're not doing that with Steven Adams.
No, I'm saying Russ can get down the lane against it. He's breaking down everybody getting down to the hole.
That's difficult, but that's a skill. Like when you can break somebody down, get to the hole, and then draw traffic
that's credit to
and
Russ.
pass.
What
That's
about
a
Harden? I
credit.
mean, so
Harden's great. I
So,
was
let me
with Harden for the first
let me ask you a
3-4
question.
months of
which
the season.
Which is harder to assist? A harder is a 3-point shot or a layup or a dunk?
It's harder to get the layup or dunk.
Or if you're talking about a layup or dunk in transition, that's easier. But I'd say in the half court, a 3-point shot is an easier assist.